All right, first up is the little Loquat Tree. Teeny tiny boy here. There's a much bigger one down the street that we've already taken all the fruit off of. But this beautiful little tropical boy has, I wonder if I can see any, we've taken most of the fruit. I don't see any left. Do you boys see any fruit left? I was gonna show what the fruit, like there's a dried nasty boy. But they're like little yellow globes of deliciousness. Maybe the other plant will have it, but that's the first on our list. Loquat Tree. This whole area next to our parking lot is filled with edible weeds, but they just mowed, so it'd be harder for me to show some of them to you. Things that I can see, like we have tons of this prickly lettuce.
I'll take a bit this year.
Prickly lettuce is all around. I'll show that off in a bit. There's some healthier boys in a different spot. Here we have this, I think it's common vetch. It's a type of vetch. I'd have to look this one up again. I know lots of animals eat these. We've never eaten them. I can't recall what I Googled about these. They're fun little seed pods though. They turn black. I think I did read that people did eat these. They had to be cooked or something first. I don't know, vetch is what it's called. You could look up that. But this is around a lot. And we see this one quite often. Then you have these guys. They're actually in the mint family. They have a square stem. It's hard to see on the video, but you can always tell when you feel it. They have a square stem. They're called young lyre leaf.
We're a lion.
Yeah, lyre leaf sage. Lyre leaf sage. Beautiful flowers on them. Square stem. Mint family. Here, smell the leaf. Doesn't it look just like our mint leaves?
Yeah.
They look identical to our mint leaves. It's hard to see.
But they're bigger.
Yeah, he's in the mint family.
Can I have a bite?
Well, the young leaves are better than these because this is already bloomed. They have a slight minty flavor. You can go ahead and chew one if you want. But yeah, you can use these in salads. The entire plant is edible, including the flowers. So that's one of your flowers that can be consumed is your lyre leaf sage.
What is it?
You can dry them and put them in a tea. I use these with I guess you can call it like a tea. I put them in warm water and I let it sit overnight. You can use it to help with like a sore throat, a cough, cold, like your basic, cough and cold and congestion issues. I like that at cold time. Lyre leaf sage. And again, how you find this boy is, it's so hard to see it, but they have a square stem. You can feel it when you roll it around between your fingies. It is not a cylinder, it's a square shape. So it's like flat, and then you can rotate it, and it's flat, and you rotate it, it's flat. It's a square stem. Lyre leaf sage. That's everywhere. So there's more lyre leaf sage hidden back in there with the berries. Of course, it's berry time, so there's another edible plant. And of course, I'm sure you've seen these everywhere. You've got your field onions, another edible plant. You can eat those bulbs and the stem. The whole plant's edible on that one. Lots of lyre leaf sage in there. Pollinators loving on them. Look at him go.
Mama,
Look at him go.
can we pet the one that's near?
Oh, look, here's also some sticky Willy. Let me grab some sticky Willy and show you our favorite thing to do with sticky Willy. Here, show off what it does. No, not on me, on you, you goofball. Here, show off what it does. Put it on Geffy.
No, I don't.
Oh, put it on yourself. Sticky Willy is very sticky. It sticks to everything. It's like Velcro, the whole plant is.
Spiky.
I know. It's in the coffee family. It has a little bit of caffeine in it, so you can make a tea with these leaves. So this is edible. I wouldn't chew on it because, again, it's very prickly. It's like Velcro. I don't know if I can get it to focus on it. There you go. Those little balls are like covered in Velcro. The whole thing, stem, leaves, all of it. You can decorate your hair, decorate your clothing with Sticky Willy. Here's a nice, healthy, prickly lettuce over here. You can tell the difference because it's prickly. I don't know if you can see the prickles under there. You always want to check that underside of your leaves. Dandelions will look very similar. And of course your dandelions are edible too. But your prickly lettuce is prickly, and it has that white substance that comes out, the lacticarium. That stuff is a natural painkiller. It's just wild Tylenol out here. It's very bitter, but that's what people use it for. It works like a charm. It grows like crazy. It's everywhere. You'll spot tons of them. There's lots of little boys sprouting up all over the place. Even here right next to our prickly lettuce, it looks like clover. You'd think that this stuff is clover, and you've probably called it that. Oh, you got a little berry? Oh, and then you dropped it. They're actually not clover, they're sorrel. They're a type of sorrel. Let me find a bigger patch and I'll show you about them. And of course, there you have, growing on the trees. You're gonna see this everywhere. I'm sure you've already seen it everywhere. It smells amazing. It's that wisteria. I think that it's invasive. I know it strangles trees to death. We have a tree on the other side of this that is completely covered in it. And it's beautiful. I know it's sad, but it's beautiful. But the stems, poisonous. Flowers, delightful. So pluck all those fragrant flowers off, stick them in warm water overnight, add some sugar, boom, wisteria syrup. It's lovely. Add it to everything. And I mean, this stuff is just everywhere. So here's more prickly lettuce, more sorrel. Those little yellow flowers, that's edible. The sorrel's flower. Oh, wait, that's these little yellow ones are different. This, I don't know if I can get it up close. This type is different from the other one. It's also a type of clover though. It's like hop trefoil, but it's a type of clover. That one's edible too. Flower, leaves, and seeds of that are edible. These tiny flowers from the sorrel, also edible. Oh, and right next to all that, we have stork's bill, one of my favorite plants. Look at the stork's bill. So make sure your stems are hairy. So you just come in with the stork's bill and you check them. They're those red, oh, I don't know if it'll focus, but they're hairy. Got white hairs all over them. So that's a stork's bill. Check out these seed pods. They get dark like that. When they come off, there's 5 of them. I don't know if it'll focus. It's hard to see out here in the sunlight whether my phone is focusing or not. When it's a little more dry, they split open. They kind of like fling out, but they're fuzzy, like Velcro. They get trapped in animal fur. Oh, there's more vetch. Some more vetch beans right there. But this, the stork's bill, hold on, I have a piece of paper to remind me all the things I'm looking for. It is a geradium. All parts are edible. Lots of medicinal uses. I haven't learned enough about them. This is one of the ones, that's why I had it on my paper. I know that it's useful, but we just like the seeds. I love the stork's bill for the fun seeds. Once they turn black and they kind of explode when you pick them off if they're dry enough. Oh, and yep, more vetch is growing on that as well. There's more of that hop trefoil, the trefoil. These little guys, little tiny yellow flowers, those are edible in the clover family. And look, they're everywhere. There's tons of them. There's a prairie verbena. It's not a real verbena like lemon verbena. There's a lot of, yeah, the prairie verbenas. We used to call them forget-me-nots. They're not forget-me-nots. They're not a real verbena either. But they do have lots of medicinal uses. There's lots of stuff you can learn about them online. We have not eaten them. Don't eat it yet because I haven't researched it enough. I know there's stuff we can do with them. And from like just a cursory Google a couple weeks ago, it said they were edible. We haven't messed with them, but they're everywhere. So I got to finish Googling those. It did say medicinal uses, so I'm sure they are edible. Just have to keep looking. But all those little bulbs popping up, those are all onions. All those yellow flowers, edible. All that wood. Oh, here we go. Check this out. He's so beautiful. He's got the tiniest little white flowers on him. And you can, I'm sure the leaves look very similar to something you already know, because this is called cow parsley. It is edible. So you can eat the leaves raw. It's in the carrot family. So it does have edible roots as well. Really hardy plant. Honestly, we can probably pick these for the roots right now with how big these are. But yeah, no, the leaves, check the leaves out. It's just like flat leaf parsley. And look at that, free herbs. So yeah, you can eat some of the leaves. No, that's a flower bloom, you goofball. Eat the leaves. So there's a bunch more storkbill growing right there. Tons of cow parsley. Cow parsley right here. Edible. 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 Like tons of edible stuff. Look at that prickly lettuce. Edible. More storkbill. What else we got here? Oh, that cow parsley looks healthy as shit. More storkbill. Oh, look at this. So down here, you have, hold on, it's really small. It's called Burr Weed. I wonder if I can get close enough so you can see why. It's bitter, but I mean, most leaves are bitter. I mean, even spinach is bitter, but it's called Burr Weed. Here's one, because look at those burrs. It's got burrs in it. Those are edible too. I've never eaten one of those because, I mean, why would you want to? But the leaves themselves, especially the young leaves, really delightful. Edible. Edible stuff is everywhere. We also have a sweet gum tree down there. You can't really see it because the giant live oak is kind of hiding it. But there is a really great article on the National Library of Medicine. Where is their article is like sweet gum, an ancient source of beneficial compounds with modern benefits. But it talks about a substance that's in its sap that's an antiviral and was a precursor to Tamiflu. So I know a lot of people make like homemade Tamiflu using the sweet gum tree, and we have one just right over there, which is excellent. You need a hug? Come here for hugs. Oh, we need hugs. Oh, here's something dangerous. Here's something really dangerous. So all the more reason to know about your plants, because he looks beautiful, doesn't he? And he's got berries, and kids love berries. But yeah, you don't eat those, right? Yeah, you don't eat those. That's black nightshade. Just as scary as it sounds. The green boys are more poisonous than when they turn black, because they will turn black. But the green are like new, fresh berries, and they're full of the bad stuff. Yeah, the deadly nightshade. There is a lot of medicinal uses for it. I'm too scared to get anything off of this plant, so I don't fuck with any of the nightshades. I did take a medicine. It was like atropine. I had to take it for stomach cramps, and it was a compound from this plant. So it did help with my stomach cramps. So I know there are medicinal uses for it. I'm sure that there are safe ways that we could harvest stuff from this plant, but I am a scaredy cat, so I'm not gonna. Look, more lettuce.
Wait, is that one?
Tons of Prairie Verbena. Yep, here inside of the Prairie Verbena, all those little yellow flowers, that's wood sorrel. All sorrel here in Florida, I think it's like 6 or 7 different types of sorrel we have, and they're all edible. All the sorrels are edible, so you can eat those flowers, the little yellow boys. The other type of sorrel we have here, we have a purple, it's like a purpley pink one. I'm not seeing it. It looks just like those yellow flowers, but they're a purpley pink, really pretty color. But yeah, I'm sure you have a lot of those because they grow like crazy, but they just mowed. Oh, my favorite. Look, Spiderwort. So Spiderwort isn't any of it bloomed? So this is an edible flower. This is my favorite edible flower. You can't really see. On the inside, focus. On the inside of it, because none of them are bloomed, so I can't really show you. The inside of Spiderwort is fuzzy, and they actually use, oh my God, the little fibers all over me, I'm turning purple. The inside is a fuzzy purple, and if it's around radiation, it'll turn pink. So you can use these plants as a marker for if the area's been irradiated, and if something's dangerous, it's a marker for dangerous radiation. But look at all these are gonna open up and be a Spiderwort plant. I wish one was in bloom because I know you would recognize it if you saw it. They grow everywhere in Florida. But yeah, the flowers, delicious. Rom picks them all the time and eats them. Can't wait for these to bloom.
Mama.
You got a bunch of sticky Willy?
And I'm gonna stick it to you.
But it's not just the flowers that are beneficial. I wonder if I can get some sap out of here, some gooey goodness. It's got, oh, yep, you can kind of see the goo. in it. It's almost like an aloe vera plant. It's got a gooiness to its leaves, but you can crush these up or chew these up and add them to a wound, and it'll help your wound.
Are they edible?
I mean, yeah, but you don't want to. The flowers, we eat the flowers. That's primarily what we use it for, because I have an aloe vera plant, so we've never really used the leaves like that, but you can. So in a pinch, you know, Spiderwort can help with that. I wish they were in bloom so I could show you. Here's another look at that lyre leaf sage. That's what it can look like without all of its blooms. Oh, check that out. Blackjack over here. We got some blackjack. Another one of my favorites. So I love daisies. I just love daisies. And these are blackjacks. I wonder if I can get it. Ugh. Don't touch it, Rami. Don't touch it. This is a blackjack. It's in the daisy family. It has very irritating seed pods. I don't see any. There's a couple. They have irritating seed pods. Some people can be allergic to them. I have very sensitive skin. The leaves can be eaten raw. Here's my little Google fact that I got about them. Is that in Vietnam during the war, soldiers adopted the herb as a vegetable, which led to this being called soldier vegetable. What a weird name.
Can I take a bite? Can I, Mama?
Oh boy, look at how well the lettuce is growing out here.
Oh, it's spiky lettuce.
Yeah, so check the bottom. You just check the bottom of it and see it's spiky.
Yeah.
So that's your prickly lettuce. The easiest way to tell from a dandelion to prickly lettuce is that dandelions are not prickly, but prickly lettuce is. Nice, that's what I was looking for. Look at how healthy all this lettuce is. All this prickly lettuce. But this is what I was looking for.
Wait,
our favorites.
It's prickly lettuce.
I feel like I've said my favorite like 20 times, but these are everywhere. And they are a sorrel as well. They're one of our 6 or 7 different types of edible sorrels here in Florida. But these little wildflowers grow like crazy. Fields of them. Like, look at all that purple.
Are they edible, Mother?
Yep. So you got vetch. You got some vetch there. You have the lyre leaf sage. Really healthy lettuces, sorrels, clovers. I mean, just start Googling the plants around you. Anything you see that's interesting, Google it, because odds are you're going to find something cool about it. I think maybe in all of my Googling of plants over the years, I've probably Googled like 2 plants that I was like, oh, that was boring and a waste of my time. 99.9% of the time, you're going to find out something interesting. There's that sweet gum tree. There's our nature's Tamiflu. Oh, more of the hop trefoil. These little yellow guys are edible. Go ahead, you can eat it. Yep, the flower's edible. And especially since they're considered weeds, once you find one, you're like, oh, that's an edible flower. Just start looking around, because then it'll be everywhere. They grow like weeds. So all these white flowers are field onions. Those are edible. The whole part of the plant is edible. All these yellow hop trefoils, they're all edible. The purple prairie verbena.
Poked my leg.
Oh no, you plants poked your legs.